and it's like, who do I make these things for? Like, I hope these videos help somebody, or they're useful to somebody. I don't know. Maybe I shouldn't give a fuck. Just keep making them. Oh, I got an inspiration. Just go for it. All right, toxic positivity. So some of you who followed me for a long time have seen me go through multiple phases. I mean, some of you guys may have even followed me from the time when I was still a Luciferian, because I've been putting out videos since 2011 on this medium, I think. And anyway, so I'm going to talk about toxic positivity, because there was a period of time where I believed that, no, I've always been on this. I've always understood this. I've always been this intelligent. And I can say that. You can go back to old videos, and I don't have to verify it to anybody, because you guys don't matter. But like, only those of you who do matter. You know that, and so you stay on the video. I say you don't matter, and the people that don't matter go away. But toxic positivity. So I think positivity by its very nature is toxic. I think it's toxic by its very nature. I think realism is the most important thing. Now, can you perceive things in reality that no one else can perceive, and then say, I'm going to attach my expectation to that? Yes, you can. You could say, I'm pre-rich. Some people say I'm broke. No, don't say you're broke. Say you're pre-rich. Well, you can definitely say that. You can be pre-rich until you die. But you can attach yourself to realities that other people cannot perceive, but that you can. And so you might have noticed a significant shift, an evolution in this channel. And I'm not going to I'm not going to explain it, because if you're on this path, then you're with me, and you'll get it, and we'll go to the next step together. The people that need an explanation, this isn't for you. Go somewhere else. But like, share, subscribe before you do, and buy my book. But toxic positivity. Positivity is toxic by its very, very nature. If you think that it's going to get you from a mental state of being depressed and sad and down to being positive. Because for some people that might work, but I'm talking to the people that are realists, that are pragmatists, that are intelligent, and that say, okay, and not cynics, because cynics are just as dumb as airy-fairy idiots, sparkle bunnies. I'm talking to the skeptics, people that say, how can this be possible? How is this real? How is this possible? Those are the people that I'm speaking to. All right, so today we're talking about toxic positivity. There's a bunch of people in the chat. Let's turn the light up so I can read it. I got the soul sucking light on. Oh, you guys are up late. Don't you guys have a life? All right, anyway, thanks for joining. All right, Jolene. I got to make my eyes go cross so I can actually read these fucking things. Jolene, hello and welcome. Harry, hello. Hello. All right, that boy Rebo. I think, that boy Rico. I've seen you before. Welcome back. Jalen 14, hello. Okay, Deutsch. Deutsch. Sprechen Sie Deutsch? Okay, that boy, what's up? Latina, oh yeah. Are you a hot, sexy Latina? I like Latinas. So I see Latina, and I'm like, oh yeah. Ay! That's the best way to drive them away. Best way to drive a woman away is be as weird as you possibly can. The trick to getting with women is not to be yourself, but to be yourself. So everybody on the internet says, be yourself. Just be yourself. And then like the red pill guys like, don't be yourself. You're a loser. Be a better version of yourself. So what is it, Latina? What gets you hot and heavy for the fellas? Nothing. I'm married. Let's see what Latina has to say. Latina. What does she have to say? What do you feel about men? What do you feel about toxic positivity? It's like my fucking ass should be in the bed right now. I should be asleep right now. It's 2 hours past my bedtime. Maybe 3. It's 3 hours past my bedtime. I should be asleep. Why the fuck am I still up? What do you think about toxic positivity? I think positivity is toxic. I think it's terrible. I think it's destroying so many homes and destroying so many people. It's making so many people sad. It's like, because you have this thing where you're positive and you're like, oh, it's going to happen. I believe in it. Oh, yeah. And then it doesn't. And then what do? Jump off a fucking bridge? No. You keep going. And you keep practicing that positivity, and then you say, you know what, life sucks. And maybe it's not that life sucks, but you just give them bad codes. You know, they told you to be positive. Don't be positive. Be honest. Be realistic. But understand that what you have now, what you're experiencing now in life right now, is one frame. Just because you don't see a way out of your dark situation doesn't mean a way doesn't exist. And you can find a way out of your hell into heaven, into paradise, into a beautiful experience, you know? And it's possible. The Western world went through World War One and World War Two, and the world got significantly better after World War Two. But if you were living during the time of World War One, you would have thought this is the end of the world. Like bombs are being dropped everywhere, and we just detonated a nuke. Some Japanese folks, and in some other areas of the world, and Micronesians got a little bit of nuked. But you would think the world was going to shit, but no, we're still here. All right. Oh wow. Trevor Just Fun says, "How are you?" I say, "I am fucking miserable." All right. Riot Chaos MMM. Yeah. Hey, hello, that boy. Hello, Latina. Yes, and G-Day Prod. DJ Prods. Well, welcome back. I remember you. All right. McBuffins. Go fuck yourself. All right. What's the topic? The topic is toxic positivity. All right. Latina says, "Stay strong and stay zane, cause these days we live in isn't good." Yeah. Oh, you have a lot of thank you for that, Latina. I appreciate that. That's true. And look, this is the time frame when you have a bunch of McBuffin, and then this okay, oh, like fake wholesomeness, yeah, jump AR, yeah, fake wholesomeness, fake goodness, fake whatever, so yeah. Fake positivity. It's toxic positivity. It's kind of like you're going through a hard time, and instead of being real and honest about it, you try to make yourself feel better about it. I found that doesn't work. It's like you've almost got to go through the darkness and hell, recognize where you actually are, so you can get where you want to go. And that's I think it's just something I wanted to put out there. Yeah. So anyway, that's all I got to say about that. I hope that's useful. Yeah. That's dealing with the pain instead of avoiding it. Yeah. Jump AR says it's dealing with the pain instead of avoiding it. Yeah, and it works. I mean, I've seen some major upticks. I've seen some major positive. I mean, I shouldn't say positive, but affirmative, valuable things unfold in my life as a result of that. And that's, I think, where I've had the greatest successes, the greatest upticks in my life, is by just being honest about where I am, but not honest in a not honest in a fatalistic way. Like, okay, this is the way it is, this is the way it's been, this is the way it always will be, I give up. Not that kind of fatalism, but it's more like this is fucking awful. Like, this is not what I want. This is terrible. This is useless. I hate this. I don't feel good about it. But I'm not going to think that this is the way it's always going to be, because I've had days like this before. I got through it, and my life got amazingly better after that. So that's what I'm talking about. But toxic positivity doesn't allow us to get to that point of honest, genuine, core, authentic awareness. And I found that my greatest growth in life has come from being like, fuck, my life is trash. I hate it. It's awful. And then from there, seeing, okay, what can I genuinely grab onto? It's helped me to transcend dark moments much more quickly, subsequently. So it's like, okay, it sucks over here. This is bad. I got through it by being honest about it. I blew up, I screamed, I got through it, boom. And then when a dark period comes again, then it's like, okay, I have the tools to get through that. And I wasn't trying to lie to myself. Oh, everything is gonna be great. Tomorrow is gonna be a better day. Tomorrow could be fucking worse. Okay? How am I gonna still go to bed and still wake up and still kill it? Still conquer it, still make it happen. And that's where toxic positivity cuts off that ability. Like it cuts off your ability to take those steps and go, tomorrow's gonna fucking suck, just like today did. And it's probably gonna be fucking worse. How do I get through the tomorrows until I break through? And I have had some good breakthroughs as a result. You know, it's like, fuck, this is shit. I hate this life. This is awful. Okay, how do I keep getting up? How do I keep going? How do I get to the next step? And that's what the Apex journey is all about. It's about Apex individuals. We, lions and tigers, they don't, we'll use tigers. Tigers are solitary creatures. They have to deal with challenges that herd animals like deer and gazelle and antelope, other types of antelope or deer species don't deal with. All the antelope do is walk around and eat grass and listen for cracks and crickles in the ground and try to mate with each other, every once in a while. But lions and tigers are actually controlling the forward progression of that ecosystem by eliminating certain members of that herd or driving off these things or whatever. So they just have a higher level of challenge, and for them to get nourishment, they have to put forth a lot more energy. So us as apex humans, in order for us to get satisfaction, fulfillment in life, we can't do the everyday stuff. We can't do the 9 to 5. We can't necessarily. Some people are good at that as apex. Well, we can't do what everybody else is doing. We can't get with what everybody else is getting with. We can't be satisfied by the same grass that everybody else is eating. And so if you find yourself in a place in your life, you're like, fuck, man, when will it ever break? Like for me, my life is never going to be good enough. If I make $350,000 a year, that's trash. I don't fucking want that. I don't care about that. Am I fulfilled? Am I doing something that is truly satisfying? Am I actually making an impact in the world around me? Am I seeing not positive, get rid of the word positive, but am I seeing consistent affirmative progression in my experience and the experience of people around me? And if I have to awaken my shadow self and project that out to you guys through YouTube and say, fuck everybody, and I don't give a fuck what you think, use profanity and totally trash Christianity and politics and science and everything, then so be it. I just want to make sure that what I'm doing is having an impact and it's actually moving the direction where I want to go. And so as apex humans, we have to do the same thing. We're not fed by grass. Grass does not satisfy us. On Apex Human, there's tons of videos I've put out on it, but an Apex Human is just a human at the top of the food chain. Everybody else is a gummy worm. Like, I'm not even going to read their names, but there's some people in the chat, like, they're just, like, here to get seen. Oh, let me say something. Let me get a reaction and see if I can be seen, because they don't have worthy lives. They don't have lives that actually matter. But Apex Humans, like, we are the rare humans that have something to bring to this world that this world doesn't have yet. And what we bring to this world will significantly move the story forward for the species. And so I use Christianity as a scaffolding for this sort of framework. But an apex human is the top of the food chain. Yeah. And so we deal with, when we see bullshit, we know it's bullshit. Gummy worms see bullshit and they say, oh, it's dinner time. They eat it up. They live off of that crap. We don't tend to be partisan. We don't, look, apex humans back in the day, 100, 200 years ago, us apex humans, we were the ones that were like the massive high level baron type people. Like, we were the ones that were behind genocides and things like that. I hate to say it, because we were shaping the human story. And so when this time around, we're having it a little harder. So we have to kind of make up for our sins. Yeah. Others, Assad asked, do others have significance? Yes, they do have significance, but only in as much as they align with the next step in the human story. If they don't align, they're irrelevant. Time moves forward, they stay still. Time and life move forward, they stay still. Need I explain more? All right. Isn't our job to bring them to our love? Hell no. That's a good question, Jump AR. No. You don't turn a worm into a tiger. The nature of a worm is a worm. That's just their nature. They can't help it. You don't want to wake up sleeping people. Let them sleep. Let them enjoy their rest. A worm is a worm. Eventually, if that worm matters, they'll become a caterpillar or something. The worm is a caterpillar. They'll become a butterfly. But you don't want to force someone's evolution. And a lot of the things I say here do force the evolution. I'm like 100 years ahead of most people. And my whole life I was taught, or at least I learned, I wasn't taught this, but I learned to be like everyone else. I learned to fit into the mold. I learned to be nice. I learned to be safe and approachable. And I'm not safe. I'm not approachable. I'm Apex. We are here to be remembered. We are rewriting the human story for more harmony. And humans don't really understand what harmony is. They think that harmony is everybody is happy and at peace. That's not harmony. Harmony, go out in the Serengeti. That's harmony. Go into the Amazon. That's harmony. It's chaotic, but it's still harmony. It honors God's divine laws, and you're not taught that in school. You're not taught that in school. You're not taught that in church. You're not taught that at university. You're not taught that in the spiritual world. Only people that understood that stuff were the apex humans. Carl Jung knew it. He talks about the shadow. He talks about the vocation. He talks about the exceptional people. A lot of people from that time period knew that. And I'm just saying, we can come out of the shadows now. They're not killing us off anymore. I mean, I don't know. Maybe they are. Yeah. But we're all humans. For the most part. Assad says, aren't humans part of nature? And Assad says, there's good and bad. Humans are definitely part of nature, right? We tried to extricate ourselves from that. So we tried to pretend like we're, like good people exist. We tried to pretend like good people exist. We tried to pretend like, there's this greater good running things. And Jesus himself said, there's none good but God. So don't call me good. And people try to call him good. He said, there's none good but God. What are you doing? Yeah, they're good and bad. People are not really good and bad. I mean, unless you mean within themselves, both energies exist, and then I agree. But I would strongly disagree that there are good and bad people. There are no good or bad people. They're just people. Like it's like, is there a good blade of grass or a bad blade of grass? Well, it depends on the nature of that grass. Is this blade of grass exhibiting the highest qualities of grassness? Then that's an exceptional blade of grass. Just like people. So I wouldn't say they're good or bad people. I think there are people that exhibit human qualities at its apex, us apex humans. And then there are people that exhibit something less than that. And these are the conformists. These are the people that outsource their divine power to the herd. These are people that need someone else to tell them how to live. These are people that are afraid to stand on their own two spiritual feet. These are people that are looking for people to be better than, and then people to be worse than, and that's how they navigate and migrate their life. Apex humans, none of this matters to us. We say, okay, what has the inner genius called me to bring into this world? How can I bring it? And we learn from people around us. We learn from the failures of ourselves and of others. We learn from the mistakes. We learn from the wins. And we go out in the world, we do massive things. George Washington Carver, apex human. Madam C.J. Walker, apex human. Larry Page, apex human. Steve Jobs, apex human. Margaret Thatcher, apex human. Madonna, apex human. Michael Jackson, apex human. These are humans that have had an indelible mark on the human story. Anton LaVey, apex human. Yeshua ben Yosef, Rabbi Yeshi, Jesus Christ, apex human. It's not an easy path. It's not a pleasant path. You're not going to have happiness if you're an apex human. You just give that up once you wake up. Apex humans, by the way, are born. We're not made. You can't convert everybody into this. We're born. We come out of the pussy that way. We just, okay, I'm apex. We forget for many years, and some of us don't know until we're in our 80s. Mahatma Gandhi, even though he was a pedophile, apex human. I think even bad ones have purpose, and the enlightened ones learn so much from the bad guys. Bad people don't exist. Hitler was not a bad person. He was just a person. He had some fucked up ideas. I mean, I'm joking. But there are no bad people, there are no good people. There is an objective morality. Okay, and apex humans have that built into their integral structure. So we can actually decide virtue for the herd. We can decide, okay, this is right and this is wrong. Why? Because we follow a higher apex, and we're apex. We follow something higher. The worms are looking to us to guide them, and it's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. We just have to, like, our sense of integrity is much more intense and profound. Our sense of virtue is much more intense. We decide what virtue is. Socrates, Plato, Aristotle, Pythagoras, or Pythagoras as you guys call them, these people were apex people. They decided how the next human generation happened. Solon, the Athenian, or the Athenian statesman. I went to go visit Sais, where he learned of Atlantis. These are the apex people. They decide the future of the species. There is this unseen substrate of reality. In the Bible and in Christianity, they call it God, the Most High. It is deciding the future of the species. Our genome is directly linked to that. And the genome decides what happens next in the story. It's not the politicians, and the politicians are not apex. A lot of them are. And the real politicians that are apex, you don't see. They're quiet. You don't even see their faces. They just sit behind the scenes and do this. They're the puppet masters. And those are extremely apex individuals, but you'll never see them. So, yeah. Assad says, does success make me apex? Again, you'll have to define success. It depends on success for you. When people use the S word, success, they usually are referring to money and bitches. That's not success. Success is you're having a harmonious impact on the human story that is resulting in consistent and immediate returns to you. So you're having a satisfied, fulfilled, prosperous, purposeful life. You're living with productivity and purity, true purity, not that fake purity like being a virgin. That's trash. That's stupid. Don't do that. You're living a real life, a full life, and you feel that. And so if you're not there, I wouldn't call it success. You can be a billionaire. You're not successful. You're just the guy with a bunch of money who's a loser. I've known people on that level, and they're dead and they're lost and they don't know what the fuck is going on, and they're just asleep like every other worm. They're just a worm with a lot of money. They don't matter. They don't have any impact. All right. Jump AR says, what proof is there apex people are born and not made? Oh God, I don't even know how to answer that one. You're one of those academics. You need some proof. You want me to find a study to give to you? Let me see. I'm pulling one out of my ass. That's a gummy worm question. You know what you know. It's like, so in research and in science, premises have to begin from self-evident bases. Like a premise must start as it must be self-evident. And so there are people that just have this thing inside of them. Carl Jung, lots of people, I'm not even gonna give you that evidence. You have to think for yourself. If you need a study to tell you something that can be self-evident otherwise, that's a gummy worm mindset. I need the study. I need the group to tell me. I need them. And can you tell me the truth? Can you perceive truth? Discernment is a apex human quality. Apex humans during Nazi Germany left. They were like, I'm not gonna have any part of this. I can see where this is going. I'm out. And I had a friend who actually lived through that. He died a couple of years ago. He was he was a Polish Jewish man, artist, Mark Strauss. And he lived through the Nazi occupation of Poland. And he said when he was a child, he saw so many things, but he said, we knew what it was going to do, and we knew who he was. And we were warned before he went through and did what he did. His family didn't have the means to get out of Poland, that part of Poland that got occupied, and parts of his family that were in Germany, because Germany and Poland really close. And so he was stuck. His family didn't make it, but he did, because he was blonde-haired and blue-eyed. But he was Jewish. And, it was a matter of discernment. There's so many things you can see coming before they happen. So to ask is, what proof is there? Yeah, proof. We're not the ones we don't need proof. We see the evidence. before. Like I'm not gonna explain it to you. It's not something that I can explain. All right, jump AR. If all it takes to be Apex is to have 1,000 subscribers, doesn't that make most other people on YouTube more Apex than you? All right, I think you're a child. That's cute. All right, if Apex is influence. Oh my God. Okay, you're not Apex, clearly. Live a couple more years, get to know yourself, be honest with yourself. Maybe you'll, I mean, this is the thing about Apex people. Oh God. See, if I have to explain this to you, you're not one of us. So I don't know if I should even read your next comment. Like I don't like to. It's like trying to describe. It's trying to describe the color blue to a blind person. I hope you understand that analogy. Describe blue to a blind person. Describe blue to a blind person. Go ahead. Give them proof of what blue is. There's no mode of communication. Oh, you know that like infinite black or whatever the fuck you don't see or do see when you're blind? Like it's like that, but it's not, and it's a waste of my words. Give me a better question. That's like some of these questions are just beneath me. I'm not going to take time to explain it. All right, you can't explain it, then are you even Apex? Oh my God. Okay, this is a teenager. You can't explain it. It seems like a lack of understanding. Oh my God. Okay, you're right. It's a lack of understanding on my part. So, like I said, toxic positivity exists. And the best way to move forward, if you want to progress into something that works, is to be able to recognize the difficulty of what you're facing and say, this is how I really feel about this now. And then to, from there, build, and you can transition. You can't really transition or transcend something that you haven't firmly placed your feet on. So it's like if you want to go from this step to this step, you have to step on this one in order to get here. And so a lot of people don't do the work requisite to do that. Like positivity, what it does is it keeps you from even putting your foot here. So you don't have the leverage to move into the next step. And that's the problem with positivity is generally for people. Okay. This is cute. Okay, I think you are a teenager. Are you a teenager? Are you a teenager? Because I think you are a teenager, so I'm not going to be mean to you. All right, let's read the last asinine. I said I wasn't going to be mean. Let's read the last statement. Can we call it a statement? Oh, well, same thing. 21, teenager, same thing. You live in the U.S. You speak English. You live in the U.S. You're a teenager until you're 25. All right. Epstein, I'm sorry, Einstein has a couple of quotes. See, again, and thank you for this. Okay, so gummy worms need a higher authority. That's a big, big part. Again, apex of anything is the top, right? So that means you're not looking up to authority. You are the authority. So, Einstein said, this study said, this group says, you don't have a foundation upon which you can you're looking to someone else to validate where you stand. And it's like, how many tigers are going to deer and say, how do I catch you? How do I catch you and kill you? Because I need to make sure that I'm doing this right. No. They learn from their parents when they're little. They don't have confidence. They gain the confidence, and then they go and they do their job as a tiger to keep the herd healthy by killing off the weak ones and eating them. And so most people are the deer. Like deer, their brains, all these herd animals, most people are herd animals, their brains are designed such that they pay attention to what's happening in the group. Okay, so Bob over there twitched. What's going on? Jenny went over there. Okay, what's going on? So they're not autonomous. They don't have agency. They don't have authority. Okay, but an apex predator, they're above all of that, and they're watching, and They're not, when they're walking around in the middle of the day, they're not like, oh shit, oh shit, oh shit. No, they know their surroundings. They know the entire environment. They're paying attention to everything, but they're not letting it decide their actions. They are deciding the actions of those other animals. When the tiger walks into the clearing, everybody gets on their P's and Q's. Oh shit, okay. There's a tiger over there. Just keep still, Billy. Keep still, Sarah. Right? And that's how we are as apex humans. We write the story. We write the reality. We write the narrative. And so gummy worms just lack the necessary brain structure for that. They just don't have it. It's just not there. Let's see if we have anything other than a teenager in this. Don't know what teenager is by definition. It's people beneath me. All right, don't call them worms. They will give you too much trouble. And let me see. Worms. Okay, gummy worms. Thank you, Assad. I'll change that. Gummy worms. Okay. All right, jump AR, some other babble. Okay. Choose that name, Apex Predator. Can't you say enlightened people? Assad, that's a good question. Enlightened people are, what do you say? Idiots. They're worthless. Enlightened people are like, see, when you think of enlightened person, you think of a good person. You think of a virtuous person. You think of a person that you're safe around. You think of a person that you can approach and be safe with. That's a use. Truly enlightened people, if you've actually studied like various branches of Buddhism and all these fake religions that are worthless, but they're like, systems, right? True enlightened people are not going to be approachable. So when you use the word enlightened, I can assume that you're talking about people that are safe to approach, that are nice, that are not going to be mean to you, that are going to teach you something so that you feel good about yourself and go out and be a good person. Truly enlightened people, if you go back to the traditions, I know you haven't done that because of the way you're writing your sentence there. Some of these people are caustic. Some of these people are profoundly unpleasant. Some of these people, there was one monk, or not a monk, but he was a saint in Buddhism. I can't remember his Mahayana or Hinayana path. If you're one of these nerds, tell me which one. I forgot. I used to be a Buddhist a long time ago. I realized it was a fake religion and I stopped doing it. But anyway, this guy would shit in public and have sex wherever he could and cuss people out and get into fights. And he's actually considered like a very high level saint, very high level saint. So this guy, he did all these things. He was an enlightened person, right? He was enlightened. And so this clearly isn't. If you're really truly curious, just check out all the other content. But yeah, apex just means you're the top of the food chain and you can write the rules. So, and you actually make the world a better place. I hate using that terminology because people jump on it like, oh, better place. I don't mean like that. So anyway. Okay. Okay, understand you now. Simply believe you are better than other people. Okay. Diogenes. Okay. Yeah. If you want to say it's Diogenes or Diogenes, whatever. No, sure you are. Yep. That's it. You got it. Hit the nail on the head. Say you're better than everybody else, and then you've won. So, all right. Well, that's the enlightenment for today. For those of you who actually are Apex, who might watch this later, this is how Apex people deal with people that are not Apex. This is the thing. You don't have to look down on people. You don't have to, condescend them. You don't have to be arrogant or anything like that. It's just when you know what you know, you just know it. And you say, how important is the approval of someone who lacks the intelligence to understand even my best explanation? And then you realize that their approval is profoundly useless. It's inadequate to provide you with any validation or satisfaction. So you say, okay, well, I don't think that I'm going to take the time to explain to you what I see. Because there are people that get this. I was in a relationship with a person that didn't matter how much I talked and explained things, she didn't get it. And then I was in relationships with other people where I'd say 3 words. I didn't even have to say a full sentence and they could finish my sentence. They go, yeah, I get what you're saying. And they would clearly understand it. And I was like, oh shit, I don't have to talk as much with these people. And that's what this channel is for. It's for people that get it. I mean, true Apex individuals, we understand. We can't condescend people. Like, a tiger has no ability to condescend a worm. It's stupid. It makes no sense. You're different creatures with different purposes. The eagle doesn't look down on lions and elephants because they can't fly. An eagle flies. That is the eagle's place within the natural system. So there are people that don't fucking get it. And then they watch it like, you're condescending and that's arrogant and that's not nice. Because they don't have, see, the difference between an arrogant, like an apex human and everybody else is that apex humans are creating new algorithms. We're creating new codes, or we are resurrecting codes that haven't been used for tens of thousands of years. Everybody here is just we're just like products of the data stream. All of this is a data stream. You got the DNA, the codes for proteins and things like that. It's just a data stream. And so it's using the structures of this reality to create more cells and more life, and it's just perpetuating itself. But humans that are part of that data stream have 2 options. They can replicate what already has been and hasn't worked, which is 99.9999% of people, or they can be the vessel for new algorithms, new codes, a world where there's no hunger. That's an apex human that can create it, or several apex humans. A world without war. An apex human can create that. Apex humans will create that. A world without disease or sickness or death. That's beyond our imagination. Death is just part of life. Well, guess what? In this country, slavery was part of life. It still is. It's called employment. But I digress. Apex humans have the ability to provide humanity with new algorithms, with new patterns, with new ideas, with new concepts. Diogenes, Plato, Socrates, Nietzsche, Aristophanes, Xenophanes. That's the past, bro. Catch up with the rest of us. Can you recalculate those formulas? Can you take those ideas and then turn them into new algorithms that benefit us today? No. You're a Stoic. Marcus Aurelius is your new god. Okay, great. Well, you're useless. You're part of that group of people. They're just regurgitating something that's been done before. Apex humans are bringing something new. It's not that we're bringing something new. We're part of the new wave. There's something new happening in the human story, and we're the ones that are ready for it. So, if you're Apex, again, like if you're watching this and you get it, and you're silent, you're quiet, and you're in the background, good. Quietly take it in. Pay attention. Cultivate your power. Cultivate your presence. Cultivate your productivity, your purpose, your peace. Cultivate that. Cultivate that. Cultivate it. I may not be here to see all of it, but it's happening. Those of us who are Apex, we are born. We're not going to take political power. We're not going to come down from the sky like aliens or something stupid like that. We're being born. So our numbers are increasing it's just going to happen. The old version of humanity that relies on herd morality, that relies on being a good person, enlightenment, positivity, all of those boring, old, dead algorithms, that's being cleansed. AI is going to replace the jobs of most of those people. They'll lose their minds. They'll riot in the streets. They'll get shot by their own police, piglets. They'll be shot by the piglets, and they won't reproduce. They're just going to be cycled up. Life is going to continue doing this. It's going to continue progressing and moving forward, and they will be here. And that's just the nature of it. And I'm coming out of pretending to be a gummy worm for so many years, for decades. And for me, it was challenging to accept and acknowledge and own my Apex status. I always knew I was Apex from the time I was little, and I saw other Apex people, and I met them, and I could feel their energy. I knew that they were one of us, and we've always operated in the shadow. Not always, but since for a long time, we've operated in the shadows. It's always been shadows. Like I said, about 200 years ago, the fucking French, uh, 250, 300 years ago, the fucking French got in the way of things. That's probably why I don't like the French. That's probably why I don't like French. That's probably why I don't like the French. Yeah, I don't like the French. French women are okay though, because they're women. Women are great. Kind of. Lots of activity from these two. Let's see if it's worth my time. Okay. Yeah. Speaking of new ideas. Yeah. Okay. Ideas, questions. Okay. Yes. Also, empathy, which is strange. Okay. Jump AR says I have seemingly no empathy. I used to be I am an empath. INFJ. But I've realized that empathy is a crutch. It's an attack vector. So if I can turn it off, and I'm not always been that way. It took me 17 years to be able to turn off my empathy and compassion for other people. I always had it as a kid, and then I got into a certain field where I saw a lot of human suffering, and was part of a lot of human suffering, contributed to it, and unknowingly, I thought I was doing the right thing. I was told I was doing the right thing. I was pretending to be a gummy worm. I knew I wasn't doing the right thing, but I was told by the organization and by the policies and by everybody that I was doing the right thing, and I wasn't. I was just perpetuating human suffering. But it took 17 years for me to be able to practice the art of turning off compassion, turning off empathy. And when I was able to master that, then I just kept it in my back pocket as a tool, but I never really used it. And I'm demonstrating it more and more now. And empathy also is an attack vector. So people like this AR are saying, you don't show zero empathy. People want you to have empathy because if you have empathy, it means you can be impacted. You can feel something. They can put out anger or frustration or rage towards you. You can feel it, and they can take you off of your stance. It can take you off of your apex position, and they can like knock you off your feet. If you don't have empathy, it's like think of the pit bull. The pit bull was bred to be a fighting dog, so you can stab them, cut them. They're not as sensitive as like some of the other breeds out there. Like a Labrador will whimper if you cut him on his head or something. But a pit bull or some of the bulldogs are built such that they have high pain tolerance, and so that's what makes them amazing fighting dogs. And so you think of the apex human. If all of us are very empathic as apex humans, we're all extremely empathic. That is a crutch that we were given coming here so that we wouldn't turn into Hitler. Hitler was like, oh shit, that was a fuck up. Okay. And I didn't know him personally. He probably was very empathic as a child or something until he almost drowned and was saved by a good person, a priest. Anyway, so, they were like, okay, well, let's give these humans an exceptional amount of empathy so that they can feel the pain of other humans and not be, heartless in their progression. Okay. Because, an apex human will move forward very quickly and very successfully, very powerfully, because they can pick up on the fields of other people and just blast through and do what they need to do. And you've seen those people that rise to the top very quickly and like, oh, overnight success. No, they're not. They were cultivating and paying attention and learning and practicing and getting better and better and better. And all of a sudden, they were ready, and then they moved, and nothing could stop them. And so empathy was kind of like a governor, like you have in a car. It can't go past a certain speed, and that's what empathy has been for us. So for you to say, oh, you don't have empathy, thank you. That's a high compliment. We don't. Empathy is an attack vector, and so someone with if I had my empathy turned up, I would be hurt by certain comments, or I'd be offended by certain comments, or I'd feel the pain and frustration and rage of people, and then I would respond to that, and then I would say, oh, let me be more like acceptable, let me be more approachable, instead of saying, you know what, time is up for that. There's no more time for that. We're done with that. We're moving forward. We're saying what needs to be said, and we're going to get what we need to get, and we're going to move where we need to go. And so that's a decided move, AR. The lack of empathy is not a mistake. of nature. It's calculated it's a calculated strategy. Calculated strategy. Okay. Man, you have a very poor way of judgment. I know, poor AR. But don't say those things about him, Assad. That's not very kind. That's not a good person, Assad. You should be a good person. Those of you who know what I'm doing know what I'm doing. And as I can see, you have caught up on your shallow way. Be kinder and softer. That is what makes you human. Don't try too hard to be hard on people. Be light. Okay. Thank you, Assad. I think AR will definitely get that message and understand it. I'm glad you gave him that message. Assad, are you talking to him or to me? He's talking to you, AR. He's talking to you. All right. I see. You see how insecure AR is? AR needs to make sure that Assad's comments were for me and not for him, because it's this fear of being criticized by others. When you realize that people are just not on your level, it's not about being above or below. No, grow the fuck up. It's about a tiger will never ask a deer what's moral. Never. And I'm using an analogy for those of you who are struggling, like AR and Assad. They're never gonna. The moral codes of those two creatures are completely different. There's a beautiful story that I heard. It's coming out of Hollywood. Maybe they'll make a movie out of it. I think it'd be cool if they did. Where there was a predator species that lived with humans, and they looked like humans, but they would predate the humans. And I think there's a good evidence for that in the fossil record. But I digress. And so this group of humans, they were really, we'll call them humans, and the people they ate humanoids. There's a lot of evidence for this in the fossil record. When you go back into the early history of the humans, it's really interesting. When you go to Neanderthal and all these different hominid species, it's really interesting what happened, and all the different varieties they found. You got to go deep into the research, though. You have to actually look at the real stuff. But so there was this. It's a story. It's not real. There was this predator species that would predate humans, and they lived for centuries, and they would only show up every couple of 100 years, and then they would just either drink human blood or kill them or something. And the way that humans, something happened, and the human population became so big, and their population became so small that they just kind of went unnoticed. They kind of disappeared, basically, or something like that. I've got to look this thing up and maybe make a video on it. But it's a very interesting concept. And so they had no ability to communicate over to other humans. Hey, well, this is what we're about. They just did what they did and then went away. But they lived forever. They lived for centuries, basically. It's a fantasy story that's being developed by someone in Hollywood. It may come out in the next couple of years. Who knows? We'll see. All right. Yeah. See, they need to validate each other. You guys can make love to each other, make yourselves feel good. Okay. You have a lot of work on to feel like. I found the ultimate truth. These isn't the ultimate truth. Assad, this is not the ultimate truth. I'm not preaching the ultimate truth here. I'm not even teaching truth at all. This is just a perspective. It's the apex human perspective. All right, getting mad at comments. Oops. Getting mad at Hans would be a lack of empathy. Okay. No, he's talking to you. Oh God. Okay, so this is why 200 years ago they started hunting us. So there was a period of time. I'm just going to use the rules of Europe so that you gummy worms can look this up and verify it, and then live in fear for the next 5 years until you wake the fuck up. But there was a period in Europe where the royalty of Europe were all in cahoots. They were all in bed with each other. And then they would say, there's going to be a war over in Spain. I'm just making this up. I'm just condensing a huge history into just a soundbite. And so, Habsburgs would just, this group of people would go against this group of people, and they would just go to war. And then the people on the ground would just kill each other and die and fight for their country and fight for their flag. And the kings and the leaders and the lords and the aristocracy would sit at the tables behind closed doors and drink wine together and say, hey, how the kids going and how's life? While the gummy worms, whose poor little brains weren't working, were killing each other for the name of Spain or Portugal or France. I'm again, it wasn't, once they became nation states, they weren't doing that as much, but it was prior to like the real, like maybe 300 or 400 years ago. But, you know, I just think it's funny because there's too much evidence of that now. It's just very obvious. But the rulers, the ones who were the apex humans at that time, were just like, do you have too many people in your country or in your lands? He's like, no, I'm okay. I've got like 10,000, 20,000 serfs and worms, basically gummy worms. And the other was like, well, I got 50,000. I don't like it. It's too many of them. When I go to the square, it's just so many of them. They all smell. I don't like them. It's like, well, just call Bob and then have a war and they'll kill each other off and then the numbers will go down. Look it up. I mean, look at World War I and II. All the leaders of those nations were like eating together and hanging out and stuff. Not like now, but the way they could back then with their rudimentary transportation. And just watching the people like you two kill each other off. It's terrible. You know, it's really unfortunate. And it's part of the darkest part of human history. But it's just, I mean, it's what was. I mean, you guys don't get it. Like, you guys are so tied to good and right and wrong and we're good people and this is the truth. I want to find the truth. And then meanwhile, there are people benefiting while you guys fight each other to death. Like, oh God. I mean, you guys are very predictable and that's the problem. Anyway. All right. Okay. It's like you're just trying to justify yourself. Then he was good. Being above people is not good. It's not above people. We're not above people. See, again, when you communicate, this is the challenge. I was supposed, a lot of stuff I'm not supposed to share because gummy worms don't get it. They think that when you say, this is the way the path works and it's whatever. Oh, you're better than us. You think you're better than us. Oh my God. Okay. Let me do this again. Okay. This person has food, they are satisfied. That person doesn't have food, they are unsatisfied. That doesn't mean they're bad, doesn't mean they're good. These are two different realities. And gummy worms don't understand that. You know, they just go to war. They say, oh, we've got to fight for what's right. We have to find what's truth. We have to do the right thing. And apex humans understand there is no right and wrong. There is an objective moral sense, okay? Now, that exists. It's part of the law of the jungle. Most people, unfortunately, don't have the necessary neurology to be able to ascertain that. And that's why they need policies and rules and laws. No humans can make laws, but they have rules, right? And policies and ethics and moral codes that help gummy worms not, you know, kill their own children and eat them. That's what gummy worms would do. If you took all the rules away, they would kill their children and eat them. They would do all kinds of other heinous, abominable acts. And they would just go crazy and kill themselves off the face of the earth. And so you have to have like rules and then you have to have moral codes and all this stuff. So these little gummy worms can live in relative harmony. Now, every child under the age of 4 is an apex human. Once they get around the age of 5, 6, 7, that area, they start to lose their apex nature and they become like one of these people, right? They're trying to be altruistic. They're trying to do the right thing. And I can guarantee you these two people are good people, but they're good for nothing. Like, what major shifts are you making in the world? I know every single day I impact someone's life, even if it's one person. Because at the end of the day, there's one person that I see every day. And if I don't feel like I've made an impact, I impact them. I just punch them right in the face. Bow! That's an impact. I'm making an impact. These poor motherfuckers will be like, he actually hits people. He hits people. He's a bad, mean person. He's so bad. Oh, God. I'm going to turn this into a comedy channel because I'm not serious about everything I say. It's just fun to fuck with you guys because you guys are so fuckable. All right. If you can't kill human, I don't know what you're saying here. Can you be apex if you can kill a human for no reason? If yes, I don't want to be apex. You're not apex. Don't worry about it. And killing a person, it has nothing to do with apex. That's weird, bro. The 10 Commandments says don't kill. What's wrong with you? What's wrong with you? Get it together. Why are you trying to murder people, Assad? You need to go pray to Jesus. Have him cleanse your heart of your murderous tendencies. That is wrong. That is evil. It is bad. And I am against it. You should not try to kill people, Assad. It is wrong and evil. And I'm against it. And I think you should do better. Be a good man, Assad. Do not kill people. It's wrong. That is morally reprehensible. I'm against it. All right. All right. Oh, look, we got a psychologist. AR is a psychologist. He's attempting to separate himself from his humanity. Ultimately, him thinking he is different is human. Okay, that doesn't make any sense, but go ahead. Proving further that he is decent ever. Oh, he doesn't, sorry. He doesn't even match Apex humans the way he is describing them. He's a cute. I'm sure you guys are less than 21. You're playing. You guys are younger than that. All right. All right. Let him go through his evolution. Oh, thank you so much. All right. At a different time, I would have done that, Assad. But I've been processing things and I need to find out how to get people to be more open-minded. This is cute. I swear to God, you guys are like 12-year-olds. This is adorable. I also don't know how to do so that, that isn't forced. Oh, piglets. All right. And I'm not saying anything about your weight. If you're overweight, God loves you. All right. What about the F leaders you are aspiring to be, my brother? Me or him, Assad? Him. What about the F leaders you are aspiring to be, my brother? I don't know. I don't know any F leaders. I don't know. See, this is the thing. Apex, it's about the golden age, okay? Apex Human Awakening is about the golden age. It's about a shift that's happening in the species where so for so long people have been looking to the future for the good. They've been saying it's going to come one day. It's going to get better. The world's going to get better. Or Jesus is going to come back, or the Messiah is going to come back, or the Mahdi is going to come. Yeah. Mahdi. The Mahdi is going to come. And, all of these things, everybody's been kind of outsourcing good to the future. And the whole point of this channel, I realized I was not being effective by matching up with gummy worm ideology and trying to present Apex concepts through a gummy worm lens. And so I realized, let me change that and actually use an Apex perspective and share Apex concepts with Apex people. I'm going to get a couple of gummy worms from time to time. And I dare say that you guys may not be gummy worms. You might be pretending to be gummy worms. If I think I met you in person, I could probably awaken a shadow within you and see whether or not that shadow stuck. And if it stuck with you, then I would see that you are Apex, but you're just hiding it. If you're Apex and you're hiding it, your life is going to be miserable. You got to let that go. But everybody was pushing the golden age out into the future. And I'm saying, let's not do that anymore. We don't need to say, okay, one day it's going to get better. And one day the kids that are dying and starving because of what we are doing, they're just, one day it's going to get better for them. The refugee camps where lots of, there are children that are born and grow up most of their life in refugee camps. And this imprints on their brain and teaches them that is life. There's so many people in that. And so it's motherfuckers like you that are like, let's be good people, let's save the world, let's fix everything, that don't fucking know how to do it. You guys have existed forever and nothing has changed. So I'm saying, Walpurgisnacht, April 30th, 1966, the Most High sent a change to the story. And that's when the golden age was much more possible for our species. April 30th, 1966. And then in 1984, another shift happened. And we're going to go into that process quite rapidly. The advent of AI is one of the greatest things that's ever happened to humanity. And once AI and quantum computing are interfaced, that's game over. That's when the golden age starts happening very quickly, very quickly, very quickly. And there's nothing you can do to stop it very quickly. I mean, it's happening kind of quickly now, but I'm like, fuck, we should have been there by now. But it's going to happen very quickly. But it's people like you guys that have stood in the way and prevented all the changes that need to take place. I've seen this stuff. I've been on the ground with it. And I'm not one of those people that's insensitive to human suffering. I have just turned off my perception of it so that I can actually get the job done. And when I worked, and I would see people with their arms ripped off and screaming, you know, blood just flying flying, blood flies, but blood shooting everywhere, and you can just hear them screaming. There's nothing like the scream of a person that's had a limb ripped off, or someone who was run over by a truck and drugged for miles, and the back part of their body is gone and will never come back. No matter how many grafts we put on, or a person who's been shot, or a person who's giving birth to a dead baby, right? Wake up at 1 in the morning and you've got babies and you got to go and take care of that. So I did that for years, 17 years. And the last 5 years of it was posh. It was just like plastics and noses and babies with boogers. So it wasn't that bad in the last 5 years. But the first 12 years was fucking hell. And, you know, you motherfuckers can sit in your little shithole and you can look at this and you say, oh, this is a good, bad person. And, you know, we need to teach him to be a good person and we need to make the world work. And you can sit behind your computer and talk bullshit. You're not doing anything. And that's why we're here. It's these good, righteous, moral people that create a world that doesn't fucking work. And that's why we're here. And I'm the kindest, the nicest, and softest of us all. And that's why you're seeing me. But there are a lot of us you will never see, you will never hear, but you will feel. And you're lucky that I'm here behind a screen. Like I said, we're in your nurseries, we're in your wombs, we're in your kindergartens, we're in your palaces, we're everywhere. It's just that you don't realize it. And I'm happy to be the attack vector. My life has designed me to be very resilient, but it's people like us that make the change. We actually make the change. We make a world that works, not a good world, not a better world, but a world that works. Hitler was trying to make a better world, like you motherfuckers. We're making a world that works. That's the difference. That's what an apex human is. We all have different tasks. Some of us are carpenters, some of us are builders, some of us are teachers, some of us are AI, coders, whatever, writing code for AI. Some of us are AI prompt specialists. Some of us are nurses and physicians and healers and politicians and presidents. And, we have all kinds of different roles. But, it's time that we get serious and not play anymore and take off the kitty gloves. Because the world is not going to work if good people are in charge of it. They've been in charge for 6,000 years, and all we've seen is slavery, stupidity, superstition, struggle, suffering, savagery, sadness. That's all we've seen. Well, okay, good people, your time is done. You've done a good job. Now it's time to create a world that works, an excellent world, an apex world. Stay apex.